Cross fingers.
And we are live. Hot dang. Welcome to another day in the Milky Way, people. I tell you what, I didn't think it would happen, but here we are. And I got to shut my volume down because I screwed that up. And we're still waiting for Trina. She's got to come back in. So all is good. Trina, wherever you are, I sent you the link. Anyway, there she is. Okay, well, everybody, guess what? We are live, and with no ado, I tell you, we have some great guests tonight. So sorry about the late convenience, but with my handy dandy bus driving, I'm going to get a bus for the background. And we're going to be going. Look at Trina's having all this turbulence. See, it's bumpy in the back of the bus. So if you didn't realize, tonight I have wonderful guests. Of course, it's Trina joining me with Amber Dawn, and she is going to do a card reading for us. And our special guest, after how many tries, is David Berry. Welcome, David Berry. I'm glad you could make it to the show tonight.
And I just got my headset working in time to hear you say that. That was close.
That would have been very difficult to go through a whole show trying to read lips.
Yes.
Just nod your head and say, I know.
I made it. Nice. Hi, guys.
Yes, just send text on the chat part.
Hi, everyone. I hope you guys are finding us okay.
Oh my gosh, everybody's in there. We got a lot of people going on. We got Lori from Pure Love Ascension. We got Sarah Horton, who loves this show so much.
Hi, Sarah.
We have Lori Duran, Mandy Moo. I love that.
Hi,
Mandy Moo.
I like Mandy.
She's from Ghana. I see you. And we got Julianne Payne, and she's gonna, just to let everybody know, she's gonna come back on and do another spell of spelling.
Cool.
We got Deborah Truex, and we have deep thoughts here and now, and Teresa Dianon. She has been a real help, and she's everybody give her a big thumbs up and a round of applause. I tell you, we'll send her lots of love. She's been doing a lot of hard work for me, for Al, making the cards. She's trying to get some guests on, and she's posting stuff in like Discord and on Messenger and wherever else. I don't know, but she's doing stuff. That's a lot of work, I tell you. There's a lot that goes into this, but I do it because I love you all out there, and you all give me the thumbs up, and you send me nice messages and emails, and I appreciate it so much. That's what keeps
Milky's
me going.
Mom.
Oh, Milky's mom's in. All right. And is that Rainbow Phoenix Sovereign Readings?
That's
all right.
it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
She changed her name again. I was like confused, and then I was like, it's Paula. I know who that is.
Yeah.
Who was she before?
Sober.
What? Oh, okay.
Sober and Phoenix, or Sober.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sober and
something. It's hard.
I think
she changes her name often.
Candy Apple's in the house. Darth is in the house.
Hi.
Big Al is in the house. Big Al, I sent you a link if you want to come on. He's on his 35th wedding anniversary. Probably taking his wife out tonight. I said, if you want to
happy anniversary. Belated, but nonetheless celebrating.
We wish him a happy anniversary. Yeah. Maybe he could show us some wherever he is. And, be like a live adventure. But anyway, but all the residents are probably got him locked down, and he's probably got a mask on, and he's going. And of course, we don't want to.
I love you, baby. I love you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. One good thing is when you eat, you can take it off, so that's good.
Oh. Well, no. Now there's that one. Which governor is a New York guy says that you're supposed
Cuomo's crazy.
You're supposed to take it off, take a bite, put it back on now.
I bet
Yeah,
still
that's
just don't wear one at all.
insanity. That's insanity.
That's right.
Oh
That's right.
gosh.
I don't wear one, only for work.
Yeah.
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 Mhm.
You know what I say? If I don't have to wear one for work, thank goodness. But if I have to go somewhere and they tell me to put a mask on, I say, adios. I ain't shopping here.
Exactly.
Right. That's what I'm trying to do.
Hmm.
Just avoid it altogether.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't shop at Menards no more because of that. They said, you need a mask. I said, I don't need your business.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
haven't
need to
gone to
shop here.
Costco or Walmart since
Yep.
the whole fiasco. I was
Yeah,
like, nope,
Walmart here doesn't make you put on a mask.
they don't hear either. Most people do it, but they don't know that they don't have to.
Yeah, it's only
Is it
because a little.
broken?
Yeah, they're not well informed.
You just have to make sure that to be prepared that you may be someone's target. That's the whole problem.
That's why I'm like, I just avoid it. I'm trying not to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me
Yeah, I think
too.
I'm gonna start looking into apps too, to where I can get like stuff online and delivered, so you don't even have to deal.
Exactly.
But you know, it's sad though, because that's what they're trying to do. I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the important thing to remember is the reason why they're making us wear the masks. A couple of thousand years ago, a certain race discovered that if you cover the nose and the mouth, just leave the eyes, you lose your sense of individuality.
Yep.
Who's going to stand up and say, no, not me, if you're not an individual? That's why you're
Right.
wearing masks.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Besides that, I was doing some research on it, what it does to children. And it's not so much us old adults, but think about the kids that are going to school. And if them kids have to wear a mask for, umpteen years of schooling, they're going to be, I don't know, I never met you before, but I went to school with you for 20 years, kind of thing.
It's indoctrination. They're
Yeah.
indoctrinating
Exactly.
us.
Yeah.
This is a plan. It's a big plan.
Yes,
It's deep.
Yeah.
It is. It's a very
Deep.
big plan. It's a very
Just wait
big
until the vaccines become mandatory. Let's see how many of us will end up meeting each other, and
Hmm.
because
Right.
I'm not doing it. I'm not
Me
doing it.
neither. I'm with you,
So-
love.
No,
I'm
no.
not doing it because I for something inside me, it says that this is a harvesting situation.
Yeah.
They've been
of
testing us
energy.
for years. They've been testing for years. Water bucket challenge, the ice bucket challenge. My kids were coming up to me about 2 years ago. Dad, are you slave or are you brave? I was like, what? And obviously, you can guess what the answer to that was. They've had psychologists testing everybody for years. And,
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's a big mental mind F.
oh yeah.
That's
So let's not
exactly
feed it any more fuel, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's the whole point. Well, that's to get us out of, making people aware of this. And if you give them the right piece of knowledge, or you explain it in the right way, that person might say, oh yeah, hey, I need to go out and investigate. You make some sense there. And it only takes that one little bit that might wake them up and make them go say, that doesn't sound right. What am I thinking?
Yep.
Do you want me to tell you a little story? Sorry, I'm taking over.
No, that's what you're here for.
Tell you a little story on this subject. I won't say where I work for this purposes, but let's just say I was having a conversation with a gentleman who told me, a member of the public, told me he's a very senior doctor in the local services, and he was encouraging me. I had my mask on like this, to wear my mask like this. I said, no, thank you. I don't think I will, very politely. And he said, well, you should do. It'll save your life. I said, how's that then? He said, well, that mask is designed to stop the virus entering your body. I said, no, it's not, mate. I've done my research. I'm not an idiot. He said, what do you mean? I said, well, that face mask that you're wearing now is not fit for purpose. He said, yes, it is. I'm a senior doctor. I know it is. I said, no, it's not, mate. And excuse my crudeness here, but I said to him, you're telling me that if I break wind right now and stood 2 meters away from you, if the wind's in the right direction, it's going to go through my shorts, through my trousers, across the air, through that mask, into your nose. And you're telling me it can stop a virus? He leans forward, keeping his 2 meter distance, and goes, you're obviously a very smart man. You're absolutely correct.
Yes.
Got in his car and drove away.
I'm telling you, everybody loses with the fart.
Yeah. Some people may need
Yeah.
that little bit of knowledge to get it in their
Always over the
head to
fart.
say
It's
to the
crazy.
person in the shop, no, I'm not wearing one. All it's
Yeah.
going to do is deprive you of oxygen. The body's natural response is to crave more oxygen. If you crave more oxygen, you breathe deeper. You're breathing deeper, you're breathing more kind of carbon dioxide in. It's lowering your immune system.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
and,
think-
and also too, this is a recipe for cancer.
Yes.
Mhm.
Oxygen
Oh,
deprivation. This is like I said, this has got a whole laundry list of complications that go on in the physical body. It's not
Yep.
a
Not
good
over yet either, guys. It's not over yet. There's more to come. So
yeah.
Well, yeah.
just be
and
mindful. Everybody needs to be, the audience, everybody needs to be mindful of when they are wearing one.
Well, yeah, exactly. Because that's the thing it also says right on the box, hey, doesn't protect from viruses.
Tell you what else it
It
says on the box.
says right
Made
on the
in-
box.
Also
Yeah,
says made in
it's
China.
right on the box. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right
made
on
in
the box.
China. It's like,
Yeah.
wait,
Every
isn't
box
that
made
where
in China.
supposedly it came from?
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're
Right.
gonna
Exactly.
trust them now to put something directly on our face. Come on.
That's
Exactly.
crazy.
Yeah,
Exactly,
who knows?
Amber.
They may have infected all those masks, and they're like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly.
here.
What's the quickest way to spread a contagion? Put it
Yeah.
over your face.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
I
how
had
many
a
of those-
friend, sorry.
Oh, then go ahead. Go about
I had a friend whose cousin works in a lab and she opened up 10 of the swabs, didn't use them at all, sent them in to get tested. They all
Yeah.
came back positive.
That's what they're saying across the board. I've been hearing this over and
That's
over. and
considered
over again.
murder, wouldn't
Yes.
it be?
I
You
know.
I
I
had
know.
my
Yeah.
my lawn man, he went in with a sprained ankle and he died in the hospital with COVID
Yeah.
and he had a sprained ankle.
That's happening here
Wow.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's disturbing.
Wow.
Now, I know what's disturbing. It's 35 years of being married, and now it looks like that.
Good night, Nana.
There you go. His alternative to having a mask on. Yay! Well, if you're gonna go do it, you might as well do it the right way.
It's not Halloween yet.
I
Well,
know, not yet.
where does it say at the store that you
What's
have
with
to
the
have
mask, Al?
that kind of a mask?
Yeah,
It doesn't say what type of mask.
exactly.
That's right. You just have to have a mask. Doesn't say. Doesn't say. So Al, are you out to eat with your wonderful, lovely wife?
He's home.
Or
I
you're
can see.
home?
Oh yeah,
He's on his porch.
I had a
Yeah.
wonderful 35 minutes.
Ah,
35 minutes.
Yeah, 35
1
minutes.
minute, yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
you know, if you add 1 minute per year.
Oh, yeah. Well, just think a few more years, shoot, you don't know what time it is.
Right? Oh, I'm not looking forward to those days. Yeah.
Anyway,
So, Amber, are you going to read some cards for us? Because I'm excited.
yes.
Yes.
I'm excited I'm like, go, Amber, go.
So we have 6 tarot cards and 3 oracle cards. They all popped out. And I was trying to focus on, I kind of tried to do it a little bit differently this week because the past 2 weeks I've done videos about the dream state and what it's about, but this is very similar. My question was to the cards was, do we live in a dream?
Oh, wow.
Now, I should have asked my pendulum that because I could have gotten a solid yes or no answer. This wasn't so much a solid yes or no answer, but it did tell me what life is. So we have the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is being that brave soul, the one that is ready to go into battle, the one that's ready to do what it has to do to get the job done. Even if it's not the most wisest thing, they're brave and they're going to do it and they're going to see what happens. So that is the card, the energy card that we're holding. So that's what, okay, let me move on. 10 of Wands reversed. It's all of the things, we're here to transmute all of the heavy weight that we tend to hold. This is more in the mental capacity. So we are holding on to a lot of things that no longer serve us, or maybe it does. However, we've got the Judgment card behind that. So we judge all the things that we hold on to. We judge the knight jumping into things. We judge the bravery. We judge the weakness. We judge everything. And then we have the strength card. The strength card. I'm just going to move on from that and I'll explain in a minute. And then we have 3 of Cups, being celebratory, being able to enjoy the process, being able to party with our friends, to turn on the music at home and, just celebrate. And then 7 of Swords is, again, it's like this mental, like, oh, I'm gonna, so how do I explain this? So this little guy in here is sticking his head out of the hole. It's like, it goes in the hole and it's like, oh, this is too much. And then it peeks out and it's like, oh, this is great. Okay. I can deal with this. And then it goes back in and it goes back out. So I feel like this is just a cycle of evolution. So the Knight of Pentacles jumping into something, having a focus, or even not, just being alive, having that bravery to surpass all of these 10 of Wands that are holding us mentally down, and stop being so judgmental on what happens and go with the flow so that you can be strong again and you can celebrate life and you can enjoy the process instead of being afraid and worried about that process. And then it might happen again. We might put our head back down into the hole and then come back again. And then we start all over again. But then it just makes us stronger and stronger and stronger until we can actually let go of the judgment and we can actually fulfill what we were meant to fulfill. And that's just being alive and being able to celebrate the process. You know, we don't have to have a mansion. We don't have to have a husband or a wife. We don't have to have a family. We don't have to have any of that. But if we do, that's wonderful. If we don't, that's wonderful. Celebrate it and allow the process. The Oracle, great teacher, learn from spiritual experiences. As long as we are attached to the divine and we're attached to our higher self in love and passion, we'll always get something out of it. You know, we are not the victim. We are being told where to go. And, you know, when you're younger, you feel hopeless sometimes. You feel like the world is against you. Well, at least I know I did. And it's all a learning experience. You know, whatever your Jesus is, it doesn't have to be the man. Jesus was Jesus was an idealism, an ideological metaphor for what we can do. If he existed or not, it doesn't matter, because his teachings were to teach us to be within our power and to know we can heal ourselves, to know that everything has a higher meaning. The Knight, be brave and honest. Be brave and honest. It's okay to be weak in the moment. It's okay to feel shame or sorrow. It's okay to be angry or happy and blissful if other people around you aren't happy and blissful. You have to be honest with yourself and with what's going on around you so that you can just be in the moment. It's the judgment. We don't need to judge ourselves all the time. It's pointless. It's pointless. One more. The Snake, shed old skin.
Wow.
I mean, that's what life is about, right? Dreams, everything. It's about transforming, shedding the old, becoming the new, and being that bright light, that higher self. We all mean so much to the divine. You know, even if we don't feel like we're doing anything and we're just sitting around and, you know, watching TV, well, maybe that's not the best thing. But you know, as long as we're honest with ourselves and we actually take time to tap into our higher self, that's going to shed the old skin. Being accepting of what you are and knowing that you're more than that and knowing that you're not this body is going to shed that old skin, and it's just going to keep taking away those onion layers to where you're at the core and you're able to be able to breathe again. And that's it. That's it.
Love it.
Awesome.
love it.
That was really good.
Love it.
You know, see that thing about the Jesus thing, you know, that's like, as far as I can tell, you know, he even said, you shouldn't be worshiping me. but you should just, follow my ideals. It was about the ideals, not the worshiping him. Because
He was
Going away.
like, the whole saying is, I want to teach you how to fish. I don't want to give you the fish,
yeah.
so
And-
that you know how to be at one. Like if he could do it, we can do it. And that's
And I-
what he
Yeah,
was trying to teach us.
Yeah, he says, the things that I do, ye shall do and greater.
Yes.
I
That's,
think
that's powerful, because he could do the things he could do, and he would straight up say, the things I do, ye shall do and greater. And that greater is when we come together with a common desire and focused intention. That is, because he was like that. It's within you. And it's a way, I am the way, I am the light. Light is information, and a way is showing you how to be. So yeah, it was teachings. It was showing you the way and the light and the truth. And yeah, it's this is a personal thing. This isn't something you can get. It's something you do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And
An
there's
internal process that you can go through.
All those church-going Bible thumpers out there that always are praying to Jesus to give them the helping hand to do all that stuff. It's like, what? You're just going to say, well, he's going to do it. I don't have
And
to
that
do
goes
anything.
back. Yeah. And that goes back to the whole not worshiping idols. He didn't want you to worship him. He wanted you to be him, or not be him, but he wanted you to walk in the path he walked in. He wanted to show
Set
you
an
the way.
example. Yes, set an example.
Yeah.
Spot on. There was never any worship me. All glory goes to the Father. He never ever claimed it. He never took it, and he never said no. They're like, you're the king. He's like, you say I am. That's not what I say. He never took that on.
Yeah.
No.
So,
You can lead a horse to the water, but you cannot force the horse to drink.
trust me, I got
And he
horses,
tried
you
and
are
tried,
absolutely
and I
right.
think we're starting to realize what the true meaning of Jesus was.
Yes.
Yeah,
It
it's
is.
like taking up your own cross. Nobody can take up your cross for you. Only you can.
Yes.
Yep.
Our mind is the matrix. I don't believe in this whole we're trapped in a matrix thing. We're trapped in our mind. And that's the matrix. And we have, of course, outside forces that are trying to take advantage of that, but we're not stuck. We're not stuck.
That's right. The mind, and you're right. You're exactly right. Our mind limits us. And once we free our mind, everything else opens up. And, then you find the truth, which we all been searching for the truth, and the truth is within you. It's always been there. You have the truth. And I forget who was I talking to and arguing with that about reading the books. I says, I read lots of books. At least I'm trying to read lots of books now. And Steve, I think he says, I don't read many books, but I just find all that information inside me, which is good because he's really knowledgeable too, know. And so anyway.
So I hope everybody liked that reading, and I'm going to let you guys get back to your conversation.
Yes.
I'll be in the chat watching.
Thank you, Amber. Thank you,
Amber.
So
that
much.
was awesome.
You're very welcome. We'll see you guys later.
Bye, honey.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Well,
We got Al.
David.
Al, come to join us.
What happened, though?
Yeah, I was going to say, David, you've been reading some amazing books on your channel. That information is really beautiful.
Well, I've read I lost count of 2,000 books over the last 5 years or so, and I haven't got time anymore to go for the non-esoteric stuff. It's just going to have to be, if you got eyes to see and ears to hear, you're going to get it. If you're not, it's too late. Sorry.
Right.
So I've gone straight for the good stuff.
David Barry, you had suggested a book. I picked it up in chat somewhere along the line. I'm pretty sure it was this one.
Yep, that'll do you some good, that will, Rob.
I heard it.
You're on the path.
You're
on that path now.
You were talking about good books, and this was one of them. So I managed
That's
to pick up every.
Well, Rob, when you read that book, you'll understand how funny it is that you bought that book. Because you're at the beginning of the first chapters or so of that book. Now, when you're talking about the other night that you were getting synchronicity starting to happen.
Yeah.
Read the first couple of chapters when you get off air if you can.
Okay. Yeah, I got so many other ones I've started too. I got that Adam and Eve book that Wayne suggests. I've been reading that a little bit.
Which
Oh
one
my
is that?
gosh.
Is that the classified one, the declassified one? 'Cause that's a bit heavy.
I can't remember what the hell it was. It was
Yeah, it's not the Jan Thomas one, is it?
no. Something about
That's all right then.
something about Eden. I can't remember the name of it now.
That's all right.
But
I just
anyway,
wanted to read the heavy, scary one.
Anyway, I was reading that one. It was about some preacher guy who was going through and actually reading the book and trying to figure it out, you know, and he goes, "Holy cow, I've been reading it and preaching on it, and you know, I never realized it's all messed up."
Yeah, well, it's a jumble of all different teachings from different cultures and different
Yes.
religions, all put into one place, jumbled up with esotericism and occultism, and then
Yeah.
copied by some idiots who didn't know what was in it in the first place. So it's not in the right order, and it's all over the place.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
how is somebody gonna read that if they're not esoterically trained? You know, there's so many different levels you can read that book on. It's unbelievable. It's either a story, or it's an instruction manual for your body, or it's a way to guide you for living. So, and obviously it's a control system as well.
Yeah. Well, and that's pretty much true. I mean, like what was
It's
it?
not
Jeffrey?
just the Bible, mind. It's all of them.
Oh
Sorry.
yeah. There's no truth in any book, but there may be bits of truth in all the books.
Yeah, about 1-2% in there.
Yeah, exactly. But it's up to you to read the book and figure it out, and then put the pieces together. You know, hey, I remember what this was in this book, and this was in this book, and then this was in this book, and then when you put them together, it kind of makes some sort of sense. At least that's what I like to do.
That's kind of where I've come from in my journey. I just started off reading, and I started recognizing the commonalities in different places, whether it be Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianity, or just an esoteric book I'd read from something to do with Hermeticism or anything. There's so many things like
So many. You know, when I learned that, David, was when I was in my social work program and I was working with all the group home children. And they wanted me to take over spiritual group, but you couldn't teach any one religion because, you know, you couldn't, they're all from different backgrounds. Yeah. So I was like, so you want me to teach them about God, but I can't teach them about any religion. I was like, oh my God, how am I going to handle this? You know,
a challenge.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, how am I going to do this? And then I came up with a great idea. I said, you know, what do all religions have in common? And they all have one thing in common. They all have messengers of God. So I focused on that. And I would focus on different messages from the different messengers of God from all the different religions. Yeah. And I would go with that. So that's how I worked that one out. But that was tough.
I can imagine you're very smart to be able to do that. I don't think many people would have been able to do that.
How, like you're saying, there's so many similarities. I was like, wow, you know, because you'd start reading the different religions and you'd see they all have a lot of the same things in them. So it's kind of interesting that way, where there's so many similarities.
Yeah, it always seems to me when I find a new little bit as I'm going along, it seems like something existing outside of time has just peppered these things through everything for the people who can figure it out to realize to get there. Does that make sense? Yeah. So it's not like your higher self or whatever who's existing out of time has just gone, and then it's there for us to find it.
Hey, Robert, have you had a chance to read the Book of Yahweh? I sent a copy to Wayne.
Yeah, I that's what I did my last show. I got that book here too. Yeah, I've skimmed through it, and then I've been picking little things out of it to do shows out of it. I mean, kind of gives you a good topic. Although there was nothing on dreams, so but I did the soul and the spirit, and that had I used what it gave for a definition of soul and spirit in my description. So if anybody has any questions about that, that's what I copied out of that book.
Trina, you've read that whole book, haven't you? Book of Yahweh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm sure Wayne is enjoying that right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a deep read. It really is. But I really think it's very archonic in nature, which would be like archangel. It's got a lot of Metatron, the Lord Metatron in it. So it's got a lot of it's a lot about how things are created. So it's a different take on it. So it's a beautiful book. I love it.
Yeah, it's hard to find now too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like everywhere. I think the last printing was in like 2004. So, you know,
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
but yeah, I know I've been starting my collection of little books here too. I don't know if anybody else. So, you know, I wanted to know how to do better meditation, so I got me a better meditation book. I don't know if anybody
Right on.
has got that book, and then I picked up something else. It kind of had a cool cover. Like I used one of these covers for my one of my videos, and I was like, hey, that's got a cool cover, so I bought that one too. I don't know what's in there, but it says Shamati, unity of consciousness and existence. So we'll just see what that one has. But I'm gonna do this one here first. I guess, you know, I can only do one at a time.
Tell you what will help you with your meditations, Robert, to get you into a sort of fast stream of doing it. Go on YouTube, search up theta waves, and listen to some theta waves or even gamma waves before or even during you meditate. There'll be instructions on the video to follow. It just gets your brain into the meditative state a lot quicker than sitting there and trying to think nothing. Because it'll take you months just to be able to think nothing if you're going to go down that route, depending on which style of meditation you're going to do. So the theta waves will help you get there a bit quicker, okay?
Oh, I will check that out. That's always helpful. I know, like David
don't overdo it though.
David Castle, he really helped me a lot when I first started and gave me a lot of pointers. So he's always in the chat room, and he helps a lot of people. So I want to give a shout out to him because he's always helping
David
people.
Castle, you're brilliant. Thanks for all the work that you're doing out there, and everybody. You're all doing brilliant work.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then if you can't do that, then you get your rods of Ra
Mm-hmm.
and use them.
They help me out with my headache.
Yeah,
they help me out with my migraines.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Marsha Price, thank you very much.
Yeah.
You know,
Such a blessing.
She does great work. She's got the pyramids.
Yeah, we try to meet up with her on Tuesdays noontime.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And she always has wonderful items, pyramids like you wouldn't believe.
Very gifted.
One of these days, I got to give me a pyramid.
Yeah, we had 14 pyramids in the truck last week.
Oh man, you were loaded.
Plus the two large ones too. So there's a lot of energy in that truck.
I mean, absolutely. You just be flying, literally.
Yeah. When we first got the two pyramids, there used to be storms all the time in New Mexico coming towards us from Texas. And when we had those two pyramids in the truck, it just pushed the lightning right out of the way, and the storms, the rain, everything stopped. And that's happened time and time now. So that's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Her pyramids are powerful.
Oh yeah, I mean, because
Extremely
before we had them on I-40, it would rain and wind would push the truck around and everything. And when we got these two big pyramids in the truck, the lightning was just going all around us. The wind would stop, and it was like clearing a path. It's just incredible. She does wonderful work. Yeah, you're gonna have to get one, Robert. You really should get one.
I will.
Rob, can I just mention something quickly while you showed those rods? I wanted to say thank you to everybody that was wishing me well and helping me out with sending me good wishes, energy and crystals and all sorts of things and medical advice. And while I was having my migraines for 3 months, you're all amazing. Thank you so much for all the help that you sent me and the energy that you sent me. It was gratefully received and it was used. So I'm fighting fit now. I haven't had so much as a headache an ill day since it stopped. And I'm so grateful to every one of you. Seriously, thank you.
Oh, that's wonderful.
You know, Trina helped me out. Grandpa Brian helped me out. There's lots of people I can't even remember to mention that have helped me out. So I'm very, very grateful to each and every one of you.
Yes.
This is what goes when we have a community and we all can kind of work together and get help from everybody, because as a collective, everybody has good ideas, just some work better than others. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, Al. Go on.
That's all right. Go ahead, man.
I say thank you because like I was using Marsha's rods because I did a bit of research and I love finding out how things work. I'm not one of these people who can just take it at face value. I'm doubting Thomas. I got to poke it. So I found out how the rods work and what they actually do to the body. And like your blood cells get all clumped up when they lose the electrons. So with the electrical charge going through your body and you're grounded with your bare feet and facing the sun and the interaction of the alchemical transformation, it actually re-energizes your blood. So I was thinking the migraines, which was on just above my right side of my ear here, maybe my blood was a bit clumpy. So I, every day I was out there in the sun for an hour in the stance, like you see the Egyptian statues doing, and I did that. Trina recommended cell salts to replace some essential salts that my cells were missing. Where we know we're doing it on a meditation and things like that. And I put a lot of energy into everything that I do. So it's just to help recuperate all of that. But those rods are brilliant.
Yeah, I had a severe headache one night, and I rarely have headaches. And I held them rods, and it went away in about 5 minutes. It was gone. It was incredible.
Yeah. You can see why the Egyptians used them for so long.
Yeah.
Yeah. As I mean, everybody in this group, we all have different talents and gifts. And Marsha's an alchemist with the science part and the orgone and the rods of Ra. And then we got Julianne, who's the alchemist of words. And then David, you two, you're like music and words. And like you're like the librarian, you and Wayne.
You'll not believe the downloads I've been getting to share with you guys. I just hope we got enough time.
Right on.
And that brings us to, your downloads. What do you mean by downloads? Like, I titled the show Dreams for a reason, because it's like,
it's very synchronistic. Very synchronistic, Al. Al, sorry, I keep calling you Al, Robert. It's very synchronistic because it's been a steady progression from my teens and earlier to where I am now, and like an esoteric teaching sort of thing. So I wouldn't have been able to get what I got like 2 weeks ago before. That's why I think maybe my headaches may also have been part of an upgrade or something like that. I don't know how to explain it, guys, properly. The words, I don't really have the words yet, but it's like everything. When you go to sleep and you're dreaming, that is more real than here. It's just that this place is being taken over by structure. Like we've got the platonic solids and all these 3D shapes that make up reality as we perceive it. There's just energy vibrating at different frequency, at different levels. So this place probably did start off like a positive Eden when we first, whatever, the initial inhabitants created it, or it was created for us, or we were put into it, whatever. It probably was a really beautiful place to live, but then something external came in and took it over and put these solidities and illusions over us. Time, emotion, there's lots of things. It's quite deep, to be honest, and some people may not like to hear it, but there's a lot of things that have been done to us from birth, being taught by our parents, this, that, and the other, teaching us this place, and obviously they've been taught by their parents, taught by their parents. It's not their fault that they're teaching us that this 3D, whatever you want to call this dream that's being corrupted is. And then we're so stupid that later on in life we start training ourselves. So we carry on keeping the illusion going by learning new things and doing new things. We're doing it to ourselves in the end. That's how clever this system is that we're in. But it's just like the dream realm, which I feel there are many of, not just one certain particular one, but in those places, through my experiences, through lucid dreaming. When I first started lucid dreaming, my very first ever one, I just started flying because I was being chased by some guys down a hill. And then I'd been doing a lot of research at that time on how to lucid dream anyway, so I had a rough idea on how to, but I was running down the hill to get away from these guys. Looking down at the floor, thinking, when I was a kid running down hills, and I bet every one of you've done it, I wish I could just lift my legs up and see what happens. Do I fly? Do I fall? I'm going so fast down the hill. Surely I'll just keep going, like Wile E. Coyote. So in my dream, I saw this, I'm getting away from these guys. So I lifted my legs up, and sure enough, the first time, whoosh, off I
Yeah.
went. Off I went. I started flying, but straight away, as soon as I started flying, I started doing loop the loops. Obviously, I was in my teens. I was probably about 18, 19. Young, experienced, still a bit hot-headed. I was doing loop the loops and kicking these guys in the back of the head, saying, "Come on, and get me now, you effers." You know, I was really teasing them, and you can imagine they were like, "Oh my god, this guy's flying!" Within a blink of an eye, I'm in a cave at a beach with no entrance. Don't ask me how he's at a beach, probably a sandy floor or something. And I can't. All I can do is fly around in this cave. Now, since I met Karen, Queen of Chords, had a few chats with her. She said I was basically taken by my astral guides and put somewhere safe because I didn't have control over my abilities yet. So it was like a little safe bubble for me to practice in. So I'm doing loop-the-loops, and the two guys were actually my astral guides. So I'm flying around kicking them in the head. They must be very patient. They must be very, very patient with me. So that was like my first experience. I've had many since, but there's, you know, in those places you can control everything with your thoughts when you become lucid. In this place, there's obviously more I can go on that one. Maybe I will in a minute, but I've been coming to, I had during my new recent couple of weeks, I've come to realize that this is also the same as that place, but it's not. Obviously, we can't wake up here because we're already awake here. So it's like our higher self, our oversoul, our monad, you know, depending on who you listen to, which people you listen to, there's different names for it. Like I like Morg, he's brilliant. He calls it a monad. We're all different monads, or we're like a circus tent with your oversoul on the top, and then you've got all the rungs coming out down to the bottom, and each one of us is the same on the top, going out to your different fractalized consciousnesses, which are then each having an individual experience. No two souls on the planet can have the same experience, so you end up with a different consciousness at the end of it. Well, the same consciousness,
Like
but
this kind of, right, David?
exactly, 100% like that. That's what I'm seeing.
Me too.
So like, say for example, Trina, you and I, maybe we're one part of one monad. Al, Robert, you may be part of another monad, or we're also the part of the same monad. I think that's the best way to describe it. One mind.
That totally is like kind of what I'm seeing too. I'm seeing at the highest level, we're all identically the same soul.
Yeah.
But through the fractal line of that soul taking on different bodies, experiences, etc. That's where the differences between the monads develop. The monads develop. But the first original, it's one, and it's all the same, and we're all the same. It's
and we're all having the same experience, but we're all agreeing on the outcome of what we're perceiving.
Right.
So when we got hijacked, whatever you want to call it, something was put in place. So, or I don't know how it started, obviously. Gelder Bayoff and all that. There's many, many different connotations and tales and stories, aren't they, of how it all started, getting kicked out of Eden and everything. But however it started, now I forgot where I'm going. The tent, basically. So now we're at a stage where we're all having an agreed upon experience that hasn't been set by us. So we're seeing in the world, we're seeing these horrible things. We've been seeing wars. We saw the World Trade Centers collapsing and exploding. We're seeing Vietnam. We're seeing this horrible, whatever you want to call the shit we're in at the moment. Excuse my French. But it's all created from somewhere.
Right.
That's not us, but we're seeing it and agreeing on it. So we're all co-creating our existences individually. So if we all, or at least as many of us as we can get switched on, start seeing a better or a more favorable outcome, or what's right in front of their face, stop looking at the news, stop wearing your mask, stop all this shit, concentrate on the same unified idea. Exactly, same unified thought, we will manifest it.
Yes.
Straight up. And there, Trina, is your bubble pop. You think I made it? I can't remake. I can't remake it. There's your bubble pop. Unfortunately, some poor souls are going to be so trapped in the 3D. Oh my God, I'm going to die. I've got to wear a face mask. They're going to go one way, and then everybody else will go another way.
Yes.
That's a bit deeper than I meant to go. Sorry.
I was just
See,
trying to
I
scare
think,
y'all with my
I think
mask on.
this might be the difference between like people. It's like the ones that are aware of the fear and the ones that trust in their spirit. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, what if all suffering is coming from your I am awareness? Because the false illusion of your separation is what puts you into a position of fear.
Yeah. Some
You
people
think
may
you're a
need to
real
look. Sorry.
Huh?
Sorry, Trina, I didn't realize you were reading. Go
No,
on.
go ahead. I wanted to hear what you had to say.
Some people may actually just need to learn that lesson this time around. Maybe we've already learned it in previous incarnations.
Right.
Yes.
You know, because I love my wife dearly, but sometimes I think, what on earth are you doing? You're not listening to the things I'm telling you, because I try teaching her the nuggets that I get.
Right.
But then I just came to the conclusion, I can't force it. If you're not ready, you're not ready. So I just let it be, just as you should really do with anything. You just let it be. You can't force anything.
Yeah.
It's just your inner want that makes you get stressed and want to change something. So get rid of that inner want and just accept things as they are and get on with it. And you're going to be a lot happier on the inside. I'm sure I am since I discovered that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just like Karen keeps telling me that too, that you can't force anyone to change their mindset.
No,
You have to go through experiences in life. And that's what I'm going through now at my age. I'm learning every day. And I'm sure everyone in the chat room has a lot of stories and a lot of adventures and a lot of experiences that they're going through. You know, we're all the same here in the soul tribe. It's just that everyone has a different level of stories and levels of education and thought process that they're going through. Okay. And it's taken me, 61 years to get where I'm at now to realize what's really going on. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what happens this coming, the end of 2020 is going to be very interesting, I believe.
Yeah.
I think you're right, Al.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
what if like what you're talking about, David, about the monads, but at the top we're all actually one person. I wonder if this is like the thing about Jesus was like, I and the Father are one.
Yeah.
Because if we all come from the same one at the top, then the only separation is an illusion, and it's only from our perception of self, which would be the ego.
Yeah. Yeah, your ego is just there to keep you alive in this place. Your ego is a combination of every cell in your body all talking to you to try and stay alive. That's what your ego is. Your I am inside that is the one that makes the decisions.
So what if we understood that there really was no self and we truly unified as a collective on a higher level? Because, you kind of absolutely start to understand that we truly are one. And when we can do that, that's going to be the difference between the religions that say you're going outside of yourself versus us, where we're connecting to each other through within our hearts. I think this is the key to getting out of the matrix. I really do.
It's the key to getting through your maze that your child saw. If is it a little girl, was it? And you're writing it all down and what have you. And where we were the rats going through the maze, was it? Yeah, that's the key to that. It's the key to that. It's all waking up and realizing that we are all the one.
It's the Rainbow Bridge. I've been thinking a lot about that, and I saw this video that it like put it into perspective, because I've been looking at this for a while, that the Rainbow Bridge is literally, it's like it's all a battery. It's all a battery.
Yeah, light is energy.
Yeah, it's like we're batteries.
Yeah, well, yeah, we're totally batteries to something.
Oh,
and then the salt bridge, and that's why it says year of the salt of the earth, and we're like 86% water minimum. What do batteries need? They need water. They need salt, positive, negative charge. Yeah. Batteries.
Well, your heart's an electromagnetic pump. Everybody thinks that your heart's pumped around your body by the muscle going boom, 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 boom. It's not. It's a torus field, and your blood's got iron in it. The torus field pushes the blood through your body. Your heart's just boom, 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 boom. It's a byproduct.
We've got about 9 volts DC, David?
5, I think. Yes, 5, 9, something like that. Between 5 and 9 volts running through our body.
Did you guys know that the heart wraps up like a puzzle? Yeah. And you can literally lay it out flat like a parchment of paper. It's amazing.
Wow. No, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally it unwraps and you can untwist it and unwrap it until it all comes out to be one straight piece.
Just
But it
like a
literally,
Mobius strip.
yeah, it's a big strip. Yep.
You know the Mobius strip, when you get a piece of paper, a circle, you cut it in half, and then you can make the eternity thing out of it. It's never got an end. The heart does the same thing, I think.
Huh.
You're absolutely right, David. Absolutely right. Mobius strip. You're right. It's
Yeah,
brilliant.
never heard the name of it, but yeah, I know what you mean. The infinity strip kind of thing. I think
Yeah.
it's called.
Yeah, you just get a strip of paper, sellotape it together, cut it in half, and you'd think it'd fall apart, but it doesn't. It just makes one continuous loop. I think that's how the heart's constructed as well.
It is. It's like that. That's exact. And it is. It's because it goes into each other. It's like it wraps in itself, and
Do you
then
know
it
how a
makes
torus
part.
field is formed?
It's exactly what it is. And it like banks hard and it goes different directions and it weaves in through the other part. Yeah. And it's just so brilliant what is going on in this holographic animation of a body.
Layers.
Yeah, it's so powerfully beautiful. And you know, the reason I think it's so real is because we believe it is.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
As soon as
you
we
know, if
come
we
in.
stopped really believing it was real, I wonder if it's going to lose its density,
Hmm.
start to become lighter.
Yeah, make it easier to manifest and things like this.
Well, and then we might be able to fly and stuff again too, because we would be
It wasn't
lighter.
it's very hidden knowledge, but it wasn't that long ago that the Western race, were able to fly. There's a reason why when the English got into India, that took them a long time to conquer it, because all the mystics and gurus were flying around the place and doing things like this. Now, not a lot of people know this, but took them a very, I hope I don't get in trouble with this. They took them a very long time to actually get control of all these mystics and gurus and what have you, all these people that had all these mystical abilities. And there's a very good reason why everything was hidden and things were twisted and turned and things were classed, meditation was classed as evil and what have you, because they didn't want everybody flying around the place.
Absolutely.
So
That's
totally,
absolutely
it's when you get it right in here.
Well,
Not in here, because in here is not in here. When you get it right in here, up here,
yeah.
when you realize you're not the body or the mind,
Yes.
then these extra things start coming in. You start getting the downloads. You start getting all, I can't explain it, but
It's like you're getting new information from a higher part of your consciousness that you did not have access to before. And this part of you is literally some type of a macro, meta dimensional, multi-dimensional intelligence that is you.
yeah, multi-levels of consciousness, and you can have
Yeah.
access to more than just this one at the same time.
Yes.
This is what the King's Chamber was designed initially for in the Great Pyramid of Giza. And other rooms within the temple itself, which is not obviously a mausoleum, it's a temple. The idea was that the pharaohs would go in there, they would listen to certain sacred notes, sacred vowel sounds and things like this, certain frequencies within the chamber, creating a somatic effect. The somatic effect raises a level of consciousness, just like Robert, I suggested you try with your theta, listening to theta waves, it'll raise you up.
Yep, I'm try that.
They would do this in there, and then they would get the elevated level of consciousness, hence God Kings, because they had the oversight, they had the eye, they knew that they were the eye. That's not a Masonic symbol or an Illuminati symbol. That's just telling people that whoever's wearing it realizes that they are the I am.
Well, you know, but there's also the dark side of that eye too, which is the eye of Thorin. Yeah, there's two sides. Everything has to be looked at with both.
Yeah, exactly. It's everything is dualistic, so you can go this the other way as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't want to be talking about those. But yeah, those, obviously we all understand through Marxism and whatever, there's dualism and everything.
See, now I think. Now, I've been studying this a lot, and you said you were talking about the mystics of India, and then of course you got the, guys that were in Egypt, and obviously there was kind of a bunch of guys there. I don't know exactly what they would have been called, but in each land, Magi. Okay, each land there seems to be a group of people, just like I was reading about up in England or whatever too. Where you're from, there was the Druids, and then the Druids were there. And at one point in time, they were fighting. They were fighting with the groups or whatever that they were going to try to be taken over, but they couldn't be taken over.
No.
So then they called them all to some island. I can't remember. I'm sorry. But anyway, they called them. You can probably know this story way better than I do. But they called them to an island and then literally tricked them and then killed them all.
Yeah.
You know, got them to group up, and then there was probably only a few left after that, and then they conquered everybody.
That's very plausible. That's very plausible, yeah, because the reason that they were probably fooled is because the level that they're at, when you exist from a certain level of thought, you could lay down in front of a herd of elephants that are charging and they won't touch you. You could lay down in fire ants and they're not going to bite you because they know you're not going to hurt them, as it were. That's how you can walk down the street. Like I've done it myself, but I live in some pretty rough places where you can walk down the street and you don't get touched. In fact, sometimes they're very friendly towards you. I used to live above a local shop called a Spa. Now this is cheapy sort of shop. I don't know what you equivalent it to in America, 7-Eleven or whatever. But I lived above there, and my entrance was right next door to the shop. Often I'd come home, there'd be 20 thugs there. Setting, you know, I had a security camera on the front door. I could see them setting fire to things and doing all sorts of unspeakable things down there. If I came to that front door, even though I'm from a different area of the city, which, you know, what guys are like in their 20s, you're not from this local area, they'd move out my way. All right, mate. Cheers, mate. How are you doing? Having a good day? All this sort of thing. They become friendly with me because I don't hold any animosity towards anybody. I love everybody. You know, I love you guys with all my heart and soul. I love my family with all my heart and soul. I love a stranger on the street with all my heart and soul. My pets. If somebody's mugged me, I would love him with all my heart and soul as well. Because I know he's me. Just he's made some pretty bad choices in his life.
Yep.
In his experience here, he's had bad experiences.
Yeah, that's interesting because there was no one ever a stranger to my dad, and that's what he taught me growing up. And that's no one's a stranger to me. I can spark up a conversation, not have any fear with anyone. And it's taken a long time, but I finally got there.
Good.
Yeah,
that's good.
Absolutely. Now I got one last big question. So I had this epiphany, and I think I brought it up once before about it, but it was about dreams. Yeah. And you know, now we go in our dream state. Can you bring, I think so far, this is my theory, is if I go into my dream and I come back out of my dream and I write what I seen in my dream, I write it down. Yeah. And then I literally went into the dream and brought something back tangible, because then I can take that and I can say I dreamt about a car and I wrote it down and I imagined it, and then I went out and got that car. Now I've literally manifested that from a dream. And I think Trina said something about that with her house at one point in time. You manifested everything about the house, and then it was yours.
Yeah. It showed up in the real world. It really did.
David, did you do anything like that?
I'm getting there. Karen, again, she's a bit of a mentor for me in certain ways. She was explaining her early experiences in astral travel and lucid dreaming and what have you. And obviously she's, funny enough, I've got her in my hand, it's quite synchronistic, my crystal that she sent for me from my mum when she was having cancer treatment. This crystal doesn't exist in nature. There's 3 different crystals all in one. Yeah. Now, Karen, in her lucid dream, went to a pocket in the earth, visualized these crystals, came out of the lucid dream, I don't know how much time later on, went to that area, mined there, and dug them up. Yeah. So yes, Robert, you can do exactly what you're saying, the way you're saying it. Obviously, I don't know the actual ins and outs of the methods. I'm learning, but I feel that we can do it without the dream state now here. Right. So one day, you, Trina, may get to a stage where we can go, there's a crystal. I'm literally, there's a crystal. In my lucid dreams, I can create cities, I can create temples, I can create landscapes, or I can create a pencil.
I think that that's totally doable, David. I really do, because
you're doing it now.
You can have 30 monks pray over water for 30 days and completely change the water from the most poisonous in the world to drinking water. That
Yeah.
means that we can shift the material realm.
Yeah, we do it every day, every minute of every day. It's just we're not doing it to what we're consciously choosing to change it to.
Absolutely.
We're just
Right.
at the whim of everything, all these distractions around us, of the music, of the, everything, love,
Yeah,
everything.
I'm
And from
convinced.
that perspective, is a distraction.
I'm convinced you can manifest anything you want. I know this. I've done it. And if you put your mind to something, like Trina says, you know, what you think about, you bring about, it will happen. I
Yeah.
promise you, it
Yeah.
will happen. You just gotta
Yeah.
want to do it, and your mind will project
And
that
forget
image,
about it.
and then a couple of days later, you go, "Oh my God, there it is."
Yeah.
So you
Important to
can do
forget
it.
about it.
You can do it in reality, for sure.
Yeah.
It doesn't
I
have to
got
be a dream. A dream is, to me, is a tool. You know, with the crystals, and you know, they're tools,
yeah.
right? Just like the
Yeah.
tools that we use to build things. It's an
Yeah.
extension of your arm, and your mind is an extension of what you can manifest.
Yeah.
Right? Because you
Yeah.
can make it happen.
Mhm.
You just
Yeah,
got to
and
want to do it.
I think when we learn how to really connect, it's going to go a lot faster. It's funny, we were going to talk about dreams tonight because I literally wrote this down very recently. So, what if it's all just a dream, even the concept of me? This is the question now I seek. What if God is the image maker and I, Magi, nation, I imagine myself into form?
Yeah.
What if there is no you inside of you? What if you're just a series of thoughts, emotions, imaginations, and projections coming from your personal identity that is not real? If everything is which we call God, everything is appearing as God in this manifestation realm. But within the core, there's always the 0 point. There's always the no thing. There's always the part that is just being still.
Mhm.
So what if within this energy is a black hole, an empty hole, a 0 point? When you 0 point in healing, when you heal people, you reset their computer. It's almost like a reboot of the entire system because everything stops. So what if the potential that we are is truly resting in the no thing? We're always so worried about creating, but what if our strongest power of creation is coming from the no thing, from the 0 point? These are particles of light. We are particles of light, dancing and moving as sound into form. But the me says, I know I'm real.
Yeah.
And this is how I think that we got solid. It feels so real. We solidified the illusion into form, thus creating the separation of all into me or ego. When you can know that you are just a manifestation of life force, and there is really no you, you truly can connect to the one. And then through becoming the one, you become the life force. And that's how you truly can direct energy, because the life force is the God projecting everything around us. This is when the nothing and the everything truly begin to dance together. And there's no more fear, because in the nothing and in the everything, fear is dissolved into light. And this is the freedom key. Release me and remember thee. We are light.
Nice.
Wow. That's
Nice.
beautiful, Trina. Wow, I like that.
Yeah.
So we're light making sound, making light.
I think we're dancing particles of consciousness and light and sound, and we have the potential to become anything once we're out of our form. So I think that we actually are, we're unlimited potential. And when we drop this form, we can become any other kind of form I think that you would ever imagine to be, because our essence is of the formless. So what we are is a projection of creation. We are the imagination of ourselves.
Yeah.
Well,
Totally.
so you know, speaking of that, you know, now that there's some truth, a lot of truth in what you just said. I was reading the other day one of those science journals. They were talking about these nanobots, you know, and I'm sure you all have heard about those nanobots already.
Yeah.
And well, those nanobots that they would be injecting into people connect to each and every cell, and they are powered by light, because light cells, how did I put it in there? Our body cells are light, and they communicate with the other cells by flashes of light, and that's what will power the nanobots, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
they'll
like-
be capturing your light from your cellular transfer within your body. So it'll
Yeah.
actually be using your light to run its battery. So
Yeah.
we are a battery, and then they're putting a nanotech battery within your body. So it's going to start draining your life force because it needs your light to run its battery.
Mhm.
Yes. I mean,
I-
I'm like,
well,
I was just reading, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is blowing my mind, because I'm thinking,
Well-
so they figured this out. They know all of this. They're the
Right,
scientists
but I think
know
you can-
this stuff.
I think you can thwart that with true thought. I think you can still maintain your sanity and control and manifest what you want to do, regardless of outside.
I
forces
don't
like-
think so. I don't think so,
I mean,
because there's certain people that are going through these trial things for people. And
Yeah,
two of the reports was that the nervous system was fried and the symptoms of MS were now present. And then the second one said that they couldn't feel God anymore.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard that.
So,
well,
yeah, no, these things are very, very powerful. This new thing, that's supposed to be the cure,
Yeah.
yeah.
just to let y'all know, it's got fetal cells in it, which are BLT, bone marrow thymus gland mouse products. And what they do is they inject the mouse with the human fetal cells, and it gives the mouse a different autoimmune system, because they're using the thymus and the liver of the fetal tissue or the child. And then they have to keep re-injecting this mouse to make this transfer and make its immune system more humanized. And they do this through a marrow transplant. And then they keep re-injecting it over and over again until it has what it needs. So this is literally, it's the same human fetus that they inject over into this over and over again into this mouse until it has its transfer. So they're saying it produces a miracle, and he's saying he feels 20 years younger. Well, that would make sense, because they're using fetal cells.
Yeah.
That's an infant cell. That's a baby code. That's the baby codes of the thymus, which are regulating all the human growth hormones and the stem cells in the body. So this literally would be giving you a dose of the miracle cell. So yeah, it produces a miracle and makes you feel 20 years older. Yeah, that's exactly what it's going to do, because you're literally injecting babies into your body. This is literally like liquid cannibalism.
Yeah,
It's
they'd have to keep
mind-blowing.
doing it though, wouldn't they?
Mind-blowing. Yeah. So, and then the mice, they don't have a long lifeline. It's only 8.5 months, because their immune system starts to boycott the system because it's not inherited. So
Right,
because
right.
it's not inherited, it
Right.
literally starts to attack the thymus and
Sure.
create cancer in the mice.
Yeah.
So this means that to stop the cancer from growing, that means that you would have to create more and more and more and keep putting this into your body before you had the detrimental
Yeah.
reaction, which means how many babies do they need to kill to do a mass vaccination progress with this new drug called Regeneron or whatever? Yeah.
For general.
Far enough to fill 1,000 underground bunkers.
How many
Yeah.
kids? How many kids?
Right.
It's like, when I read that, I'm like, this is crazy train. Is this for real? Like,
We
wow.
live in bizarro world. We live in bizarro world.
Beyond bizarro world. I mean, that's just really, come on.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
Wow.
I said, nothing makes sense anymore. It's like, everything's
I'm
backwards.
saying be really careful, because what we are is very, very precious, guys. And I really do think right now that they're trying to set it up to where they can patent your physicality and make modifications without your permission. So be careful, because things are
Yeah.
getting really technologically really, really smart.
Yeah, it'll end up like the upgrades to your phone where you don't even have to accept them anymore.
Yeah.
They'll make you
Yeah.
sign something. Do you accept the upgrades, terms and conditions? Yes. Next thing you know,
Yeah, no
you're
way.
getting an upgrade.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
interested.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a bad feeling about all that. Yeah, and that's kind of absolutely insanity, because too, you got to look, we're in biblical times. And what is this whole thing about? It's about the head, correct? The whole thing's about the head. And in the Bible, they say that a specific person would receive a deadly head wound and then heal. There's a lot of stuff going on with this.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, David, you got any thoughts on how we can help everybody fix this? You've got enough books probably to stack a library with. Is there anything in there that says we can get out of this mess that we're in? Can't hear you.
Are you there, David?
I think he's muted. Yeah, he's muted.
Okay.
Well, I know what. Yeah.
He's working on it.
Well, so you're talking about nanobots. I mean, it's already in all the vaccines. It's already in the chemtrails. So, I mean.
Can you hear me now?
There you go.
Yeah, sorry. My £90 mic just died for some reason. Sorry about that.
What Robert was asking is are you going to get all your tithing money back from going to church all your life?
Never went once. I got kicked out of church. I'm the son of Satan.
Oh, well, welcome.
I tell you what, I wish I could get my tithing money. If I could get all my tithing money back by now, we'd have a huge party right now.
Al, you live in the Bible Belt there. They're all Bible thumpers down that way.
It's terrible. It's terrible. I'm amazed they haven't grabbed you and put you on the stake and tried to burn you yet, saying you're some kind of warlock or something. They're trying.
Oh.
Get me there. I'll convert them.
There you go.
So what Robert was asking you, David, was, with all of this mess of this world that we're in, would you have any way that you could see that we could truly find our way out of this? What would be your best advice for how to get through what we're in?
We need to get as many people from the same tribe, monad, to all visualize the same experience. Stop watching TV, stop watching news, stop watching newspapers.
Right.
Stop going to your doctors for your flu vaccine every year. Stop all these things. Learn to meditate. Discover that you are more than your mind and your body. Discover your true I am. Then, we can do it.
Yeah, we can do it. I mean, that's what Karen's trying to do too with all the crystals.
Exactly.
Worldwide network. She's trying to get all the same frequencies in.
Exactly, brother.
And she's hard at work. I'll tell you, there's not enough hours a day for her.
But it all starts up here. Unless people are prepared to do the internal work. I know it's very vague. You need entire shows.
I'm still trying to get a picture for her.
She told you to take one off a website or something, huh? I'm sure she did.
She said she was gonna, get all dressed
do
up.
her hair and everything. Was she okay?
We need more testosterone though for these cards. We definitely gotta get more guys involved. So hopefully they'll step up to the plate.
Al, there's just not that many guys that want to be awake. I think that's the hard. It's really the hardest thing. I can talk to 10 guys, and they all think I'm nuts. And there's probably only one or two that, actually get it and go, oh yeah. And the other ones are like, no.
Well, they rather watch college football. College football's in now, and
celebrity TV.
And, so they want to be they're in that program. Okay, they're in their program, and it's hard to get out of it. I finally did away with it all. I'm done with it. I'm done with the news and sports and all that. I'm just done with it. It's just a waste of time. That's all it is.
Good. Yeah. Oh, yes, programming. All of it's programming.
Yeah.
They don't call programs for nothing.
No. Telling you lies by vision through a channel on your TV.
I'm an old man. If I can do it, okay, being my age, then these younger guys can step up to the plate too. They just have to want to do it. That's the key. Is want to manifest what you want to do. And until that time, they're going to be stuck in that program.
Yeah. The place I work, there's like 20, 30 guys working there. When I first started working there, they're all the usual, I suppose you guys would call them jocks and all that kind of thing. going out every night, having on the piss up and what have you.
Yep.
I've been working here 15 years. Now I would say over 2/3 of the workforce has come around to me talking to them for 15 years. So there's a lot of them I can talk to, I can speak about these subjects on, and they can give a little bit back and they're understanding it. I've got 2 friends. If all 3 of us are together, we literally manifest in real time. It's insane. We'll be talking about like film. I should explain, I work in a recycling plant, so we get all sorts of junk passing us every second of the day. We have to take off 45 items a minute. That's how fast we have to actually take these items off. We can be talking about a film, say the first time I think we ever consciously did it, bearing in mind I'd previous to this experience been explaining to them my theories on manifestation in 3D in real time. So they just heard me explain to them my thought process on the higher self. You're accessing it via your masculine, your feminine, because one can't talk to the higher self, but the other one can talk to, and what have you. Trina knows what I'm talking about, I expect. So I just literally finished explaining this to them. We start talking about Forrest Gump. One of them picks up a Forrest Gump DVD off the line.
Yep.
Another day we'll be talking about music, something. One person, the second you finish talking about it, will pick something up to do with that item.
Yeah.
To where the point I was with my friend on Friday, and he started talking in the morning. The guy's like, can't tell if it's taking a piss or not, but you know, he'll start a conversation with me. Next thing you know, it's 3 hours later and we're going to break because I've just given him a free lecture for 3 hours on the subject that they've asked me a question on. So he's talking to me about psychedelics and my views on psychedelics. So I'm going into everything with him. You know, the Egyptian ink was a psychedelic that access opened them up so they could feel everything. By the end of the session, before we went to our break, before the machinery stopped, I said, well, there's a free lecture for you. By now, we should really have manifested something from Egypt. Now, bear in mind, I just told you I picked up roughly 45 things a minute. That's very fast. The very next thing I picked up was a leaflet with a sphinx and a pyramid on it. I looked around the conveyor belt, nothing else to do with Egypt, because, you know, sometimes there was that sort of thing. You could have your box of Egyptian stuff picked out, so it could have been coming through for 20 minutes. But no, this was the only thing round about that was to do with Egypt, and it was the very next thing I picked up. So I manifested that there via me saying I should have manifested something.
And it's happening real time. That is that is beautiful. That is such a perfect explanation of how this works.
Yeah.
That is brilliant.
Do you know what was happening at the same time? I can't believe this. None of you were in the meeting earlier with Teresa and myself. Teresa, if you're on there, back me up. She said that she saw a video. She asked me the time that this happened, when it happened. At the same time I did this, supposedly a pyramid-y sort of vessel wading in and out of reality was looking over the pyramids like it was looking for somewhere to land, but couldn't find anywhere to land as it was phasing in and out.
Wow.
As if something was trying to manifest that pyramid then.
Yes.
Like, dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, Robert, you got a lot of friends in high places. Can't you make some phone calls and get these guys to get on cards? I mean, you know all these rich folks around, right? I mean, hey, you know, I mean, you're in what, Montana?
North Dakota.
North Dakota. That's what I thought. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but you know, the bad part is that, you know, most people, like I said, they just think, oh man, you know, you got to be careful who you try to strike up certain conversations with, because some of them are like, oh yeah, and the other ones, you know,
they want to hear about football, and they want to hear about current events.
Yeah. There's 3 different kinds of people with stuff like this: the ones that get it, the ones that don't, and the ones that will act violently towards the ones that do get it.
I would think that these the chatters that are in here in Wayne's room, you know, I would think that they'd, you know, want to step up, but I guess it's just more divine feminine around that wants to.
It always has. It's part of Milky Way. Milky Way always had like 70% women, 30% men, and he didn't like it, but that was just how it rolled. So it's probably okay.
That's a good thing.
Well, what about Wayne's channel though? He's got, I think it's a little more even though, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. I think so. But it's all about realizing your true feminine anyway.
Right.
From a masculine perspective, like, you've got to realize that your head is feminine, your body's masculine. For a woman, your head is masculine, your body's feminine. So that's why they took it out, I think, our religion, because you had all these religious guys going, F that, I'm not a woman on my head. But they didn't realize they meant feminine.
Yes.
Are there more? Are there more
Not female.
Are there more females on chat right now, Robert? You think?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
So I got a story for you guys, and this is kind of how I'm realizing that, you know, I'm more aware. I'm more aware of things. So, and it's a sad story. I mean, it's true. It's absolutely true. So, there was a guy at work. He was working there, and I seen him. You know, I ain't gonna tell you who he was, but he was just upper management, and I'd seen him many times and stuff, and he had, to me, I felt he had like a purple aura around him. You know, and I think the purple aura was something about, you know, I felt there was something wrong with him. Now, you know, he was a younger guy. I guess he was in his early 40s, and every time I seen him, I meant to say something to him, like, you know, you better do something. Something's wrong with you, you know, blah blah blah. And I never did. Well, he got laid off, and now I found out that he died. And I think, you know, how did I see that? You know, did I really see that? Did I have that feeling? You know, and because, you know, I was kind of afraid to say something to him because I know he's a younger guy. You know, that'd be like, you know, going up to some young kid and saying, "Hey, you're gonna kick the bucket. I just got this feeling," you know. They look at you like, "Screw you! Get out of here! You don't know anything. You're freaking psycho. Get out of my sight."
You know,
So he had a purple. Go ahead.
I wonder too if that was just for you, so that way you would have confirmation to trust your guts. It's not maybe necessarily all the time we're supposed to share the information that we get.
Yeah.
But it's just something that you could know. And if you do pick up on that with somebody, you know, you're going to try to be a little kinder and you're going to try to be a better human being because you're sensing something's wrong with that person. And that might just be what that is just, but that's powerful to be able to sense that on somebody's energy field. That's powerful. That means that you've got some medical intuitive stuff going on there. That's powerful.
Yeah, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Trina, but cats and dogs can sense death too.
They know. Yeah, they do.
So, Robert, you probably had that gift, and you know, like you said, you don't want to say, "Hey, you're gonna get laid off, and you're gonna die." You know, I mean, who wants to know that?
Well, the thing is too is that we don't ever want to be responsible for potentially projecting that, because if you tell somebody they're gonna die, they might create it because they believe you.
Yeah.
That's strange.
Yeah.
You said a purplish color. You said that's really scary because every time people talk to me in the truck, they always see this light, this weird purple blue light shining down in front of us. I wonder what that's.
That's not the auric field, Al. That's something different.
Sorry. Yeah.
That's like a ray, not a field.
Yeah. If it's your aura, you're going to just see it just on the outline of your body.
It's not a bubble, it's a beam. Those are different. So don't worry about that purple light, Al. It ain't the purple of death for you.
So,
that's just me and Trina trying to beam you out.
It was all around him. You said it was all around him. Is that what you said, Robert?
Well, it was just like
an aurora.
I don't even know how to explain it, but you know, I seen it.
You just felt it. You knew he was going to die.
Yeah, I mean,
you feel it.
Premonition.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what was your what were you thinking though? Were you saying, "Geez, I think this dude's gonna die," or do you think there was something about it that you wanted to say, but you
well, I kept saying there's something wrong with you. You should, you know, but and I kept thinking, you know, and then after he died, it's like, well, you know, he was kind of overweight, and, you know, blah 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 blah, you know, and it's like one of those things. Now I'm trying to convince myself in my head that it was just me thinking that, you know, or whatever. But that's why I wanted to ask you guys about it, you know, because I kind of been thinking about a lot about this.
I don't see any purple around you. All I see is that track. Is it a tractor? Let's see.
Yeah, I got a new one there, Al. What's that one?
Yeah, is that a 19? Let's see. That's a newer model, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a 48. That's a
Oh,
48. That's a 48 WD Alice Chalmers with a loader on
You want to sell it?
it. Sure. Sure. They're all for sale.
They're all for sale.
That's right. All right. Well, anyway, we went long time. David Barry, thank you for coming. I'm glad we got you on. We'll have to have you back again sometime. Now, what time is it there?
4:33.
Oh man! So everybody, tell you what, you all give David a thumbs up here and go watch the shows and give him a thumbs up. And
Thank you very much,
thank you for
brother.
staying up all night long to just be on our show.
I'd been up anyway, so it's my pleasure to be here and share with you. Thank you all so much
good
for
to be
being
with
here.
you, David. I've missed you. So
I missed
good
you guys too. I missed you too, Trina. Missed
Yeah,
our
to
chat.
miss you
thanks.
too.
Thank you, everybody in the chat room. I can't see
I like
it, so
your,
thank you.
I like your special effects, David, behind you. Are you using the green screen behind you? Is that what you're doing?
No, that's just the wall behind me. I'm using the Zoom's artificial green screen. As long as you've got pretty much a solid color, it'll pick it up. There's a clock up here. There's a clock and all sorts around me. You just can't see it.
Okay, so Robert, is that really your tractor behind you? Is that...
Yes,
Yeah.
that is my tractor behind me.
You
This time,
like...
see, this time I really have a screen that's actually working, and you notice I ain't disappearing anymore. See, but David's turning every time he turns his head, half of his headphone goes away.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And the shirt, that was a good idea.
And the shirt, yeah.
Yeah, that was funny when you first started. I got a kick out of that.
I have no idea how I fixed it.
You're doing a brilliant job.
All good.
Thanks for inviting me, Robert. Appreciate it. And Trina, I love you.
I love you guys too.
Thank you.
Love you all.
Happy anniversary, Al. Happy anniversary. 35 years of the ball and chain. I mean,
oh yeah, ball and chain. Yeah. Is that what it is? Thank you.
2 life sentences in the UK.
Huh?
That's 2 life sentences in the UK. You could have been out by now. You could have been out by now. I'm only joking.
No, you're not.
No, I think David, I think it's 5 life sentences here.
Oh,
damn.
Yeah, I think life is it's around 7, I think. 7 years.
God, what was I thinking? Well, hey, some guys just stay with the same person,
No, that's a beautiful thing.
Loyalty.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Beautiful thing.
Well, here's to 35 years.
Absolutely. Cheers.
Absolutely. Cheers.
Cheers.
So I guess it's time for me to
cheers.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess it's time for me to go celebrate then, huh?
Yes. Go celebrate.
Right on.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Now remember, be the frequency you want to receive. Love you all.
Love you. All right. We'll see.